as I'm putting down my coffee. Fitting start. So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, when do you stop saying Happy New Year?
I don't know.
Like, is it okay in February? If that's the first time you're seeing someone?
I think it's the first time you're seeing someone.
I think so too.
Yeah. I mean,
but it
should
depends.
Be happy, but
yeah,
you can't.
That's true. You can't walk in and be like Happy New Year every day for the first week of January.
Oh, I have.
To the same people?
Well, not to the same people, but to our customers, like nonstop.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. That's like the first thing that comes out of our mouth. And just imagine how many times we have to say it a day.
You're probably like, I don't want to say Happy New Year again for the rest of my life.
I don't know. I like saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you like a big New Year's resolution person?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I will say that I don't really get to follow on them as much as I'd like to. Business-wise, we try to stick to our year resolution because that's really important, right? You got to hit key points.
Sure. But those are more goals. That's not necessarily a resolution.
True, I agree with that. But more so for like personal things. I wish I was better at following through with them, but I just think with kids and just work in general, like I don't have a time to like prioritize personal things that much. So, but that's a goal. That's my New Year resolution.
That's your New Year's resolution is to
prioritize myself a little bit.
I think
more.
that's a good goal. It's important as a business owner.
What about you?
You know, I'm a goal person, but I feel like a New Year's resolution, especially in my business, I made a shift this year because I always used to think like January 1st, we're starting at 0. We got to climb the mountain again. And I started kind of shifting my mentality with it. And instead of doing a yearly goal or a New Year's resolution, I just want to do better than I did the prior 12 months. So it's a rolling 12 months. So I could look at it in January and be like, all right, I sold 34 million last year. Or I could look at it in June and be like, all right, we're 36 million in the last 12 months. So we're ahead of where we were. That's a good year, right?
Good.
So I don't know, it's different. But well, welcome to Unlocking the Windy City podcast. This is episode 4. So we're talking with Serah Cicek today, owner of Bean Bar, E-Taco, and The Lounge in Northbrook. And if you are interested in finding out about real estate, everything related businesses, and what happens behind the scenes of this TV show, Windy City Unlocked, this is the podcast for you. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for having me today.
Of course.
I feel like we've become like best buddies over the last several months.
It's, you know what, I want to ask you because you made a huge jump. Like we didn't know each other that well. And I came to you and asked you about the show and you were like, yes. Immediately, yes. Like without hesitation. Why?
It just felt like authentic the way you described it. Yes, we did not know each other very well, but I do feel like I'm good with like reading people sometimes, and you personally just came across very genuine. You know, I think I've seen you a couple times before at the restaurants, and the conversations were always great. And when you approached me, it just felt like the right thing to do. Like it would give us an opportunity to just tell our story, tell the story of Bean Bar, right? And what it means to Northbrook and the intentions behind it. So I wanted to take the chance and I'm glad I did. For people that don't know you, I think you're a great person, and good people are hard to find. So
Thank you. I need a hype squad like you on every podcast.
It's my genuine feelings, you know. I appreciate, you know, everything that you've done so far to help tell the Bean Bar story.
Yeah.
No, it was to be here today.
It was a lot of fun, and it's interesting because it was the first episode. There was so much that I didn't know, you know, and so I'm like trying to coach you as a business owner on like what to do, how to tell your story, but without knowing myself. It was interesting, but I think it all came together really well.
It did. Again, it was just day in the life of.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have to prep for it. The people that were there are people that work there that are there every day. So
Right.
they were just doing what they do every day, and I just had to kind of tell the story a little bit. And I think the space does a good job in telling its own story to begin with. So it was effortless.
And it felt like it.
Good.
Your segment was probably the most comfortable segment filming.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it was, in the first episode, it just felt like it flowed really well. Like
Good.
the space showed itself well. Of course, you know, my friends, when they were watching the episode, had a drinking game every time they saw Carrie in the background. They were like, all right, we got to take a shot. She made a lot of cameos. But I think it was a great place to tell the story. I wanted to do something in Northbrook. And, you know, why not work with a business owner that had 4 businesses in Northbrook. So,
Thank you.
so you talked about this on the show. Why Northbrook?
Well, I don't want to get too much into like my younger years, but I lived in Northbrook for a little bit when I was growing up. I went to GBN, and I always felt good. Something about Northbrook just always spoke to me. At the time, there was not a lot of things going on to begin with. I mean, we're talking about early 2000s, and just even at that age, I just knew that like something was needed. My dad had a family like restaurant at the time, so I was in the restaurant industry, and I was already thinking that way. So years went by, and happened to find my husband, who also is passionate about the restaurant industry, and we thought where our first venture was eTaco, and I thought Northbrook would be the ideal spot for it, and the space became available that we were eyeing for years.
So did you guys have the concept before you even found the space?
Oh, absolutely.
How long prior?
I'd say the concept itself, more than a year. The menu itself obviously came together. You can't just build a menu. You have to see where the restaurant is going to be operating, right? You have to cater to the people around you. We built the menu quickly after we found the spot. I mean, we already knew what we had in mind, but it all came together with the space.
Yeah. So where did the concept come from? I'm curious. Because that's a long time before you even find the space.
It is. I wouldn't call ourselves like foodies, but we love food.
Okay.
And we always, cook at home. We don't really eat out that much, and both Kadir and I, we love to get creative with our cooking, and we love tacos. We've always loved tacos. My mom even used to make like homemade tacos when I was young, and there's number of ways you can make tacos, and so when Kadir worked in the restaurant industry prior to opening up eTaco, he had a chance to meet some really cool chefs, and we presented the idea. Our head chef, who's still our really good friend at the time, said, "This is awesome. I'll help you guys create the recipes and so forth." And it just kind of came together. It became like a taco fusion place. We didn't want to make it too authentic. We wanted to get creative, and we started off with, I want to say 9 or 10 tacos, and now we have 22, sometimes up to 25 different tacos.
Oh my God.
In the summer.
I didn't realize there were that many options.
There's a lot. The menu just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's obviously, like, you guys have a diverse background. You're both foodies, foodies. What's your favorite kind of food?
I like everything. That would be a better question for Kadir. He's the more picky one.
Is he?
Yes, he is. He's a very picky guy. I just love food that's made with passion and that's made with different flavors. I'm not picky. I can't say I love Turkish or Mediterranean more than I love Chinese or Latin or Hispanic. So I love anything that tastes good.
So if you're going home and cooking and you have no idea what you're making for dinner tonight, what's coming out of the kitchen?
What I'm craving for the day. And it's also becoming more difficult now as the kids are getting older and getting a little bit pickier with, my lifestyle. Like I can't eat
that's
this.
not reassuring
I can't eat
me, Serah.
carbs. I can't eat, so it's becoming complicated. And we're not cooking at home as much as we like to, because now our daughter is older and she kind of does her own thing, because she's got this crazy like gym lifestyle, and she can only eat like certain things a day. So, but if I were to go home right now and make something, I would probably make pasta.
Okay.
I love pasta.
Okay, so no taco night tonight?
No taco night. But you know what's so funny? My husband was making fun of me yesterday. We made tacos yesterday at home. He's like, you realize we own a taco restaurant, right? He goes, I'm going to send a picture to Jose, who's our chef right now, showing him that you're making tacos at home. And I'm like, I don't know. I like making tacos at home too.
Yeah. So what was Jose's response?
He didn't actually
send it?
No, he didn't send it.
That would be funny though. I mean, it is funny to think that, like, you own a taco restaurant. You could just go get tacos at your restaurant.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, but no.
So do you make coffee at home then?
Not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I mean, just the coffee at home just doesn't taste the same anymore after owning Bean Bar and having this amazing machine that just crafts a beautiful espresso or beautiful latte for you. So I'm not super happy with the ones I make at home. But if I'm not going to Bean Bar that day, I kind of have to just make something at home. And
you won't just like run into Bean Bar just to get your coffee?
I always find excuses to run in there, and luckily I don't live too far away. We live like 15, 20 minutes away, so it does work out. But sometimes I'm just like, I have other things to do and I just can't go in, which rarely happens. But I do find myself running in there, and I'll walk out with 2 lattes, one for now and one for later. I do let my coffee sit and like drink it over number of hours. I'm not like, I can't finish it.
You're not like me that has to have like a pot of coffee every hour to stay focused.
I have to sip on coffee all day, but I don't necessarily have to like have 5 full ones.
So I'm curious, because like you go into Bean Bar all the time. Your staff is incredible. Like the team that you've built there is amazing. Did you know them before, or did this all just kind of come together when you started the concept and started hiring? You're like, oh, this person would fit really well. Well, because it's really unique.
Yeah, I love answering that question, because I'm so thankful that like people actually see how amazing the team is. I see it because I'm an owner and operator, and I know what they do for the business and they do for us and we do together. But it means so much to see that like even like random customers will come in and like, you're the owner, right? Yeah, your team is amazing, and that means so much to me. So to answer your question, back of the house, yes. Because they work with me at the other restaurants. There's a couple newer ones. Front of the house, no. I did not know any of them, just because we don't have the coffee background, right? So I didn't really have any connections to any baristas or people with coffee experience.
So did they all have experience when they came in?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. It was very critical for us that they did, because I didn't have the coffee knowledge. I had to bring people on board that would help lead me, and they still do. You know, Dino is our lead. He's amazing.
And always smiling.
He's always smiling.
I love, like every time they all are, but Dino in particular, like even when you can tell he's like annoyed about something, he's still smiling.
Oh, I'm glad it comes across that way to you guys. Sometimes we see the behind the, behind
well,
the
you're always
scenes
more critical.
It's
you're always more critical of your own team and your own business.
Absolutely. And it's not easy to, work in the heat of the moment when you're so busy, and we're so lucky that we've been very high volume since day one, and it could be very stressful. And I always tell them, you got to just kind of keep it in, and you can't reflect it on your face, because that'll reflect on the customers and that'll reflect on what you're making too. So you kind of just have to brush it off. Like if it's a mistake, mistakes people are very understanding for the most part. If we have to toss a cup of coffee or 2 or 5 or 10 a day, it's okay. At the end of the day, we just have to make sure that you're happy and the customers leave satisfied one way or another.
Sure. So did you know going into it when you were going to open Bean Bar, did you know you wanted a team like that, or did it just come together naturally?
Well,
Because they seem like they all genuinely like each other as well.
A team like that is like a dream come true. Everybody wants a team like that, and that's why we're so, I don't want to use the word picky, but like a little bit more like conservative, selective with our interviewing process now, because we do have to start interviewing for spring and summer. One of the first things I worked in the restaurant industry my whole life growing up, and restaurant just has a different type of drama built into it, you know. I don't know what it is. It's the industry. It's just people that have been working in it for so long. Maybe they're just not happy doing it anymore, but they're just doing it because they don't know anything else. And
I don't think you can really know unless you've worked in the industry.
Yeah, so exactly. I mean, I'm talking about when I was 14. I mean, to this age, and I'm 40 now. So, what was the question?
About the team, like how your interview process.
Interviewing process. Yeah. So, I mean, we're very selective now, and one of the first things I say is, like, I describe the model, right, and like what we look for in people, not only from like a barista standpoint, but how you're going to fit in with our culture, because culture for me is very important. And my life before eTaco a little bit, I worked in investment banking, and I was an executive search lead. And even with recruiting CEOs and VPs, it was all about culture. Like, you can have all the experience, but if you don't fit in the culture, or if you don't fit in with how other people operate, it's not going to be a good fit for you. So one of the things we do, and I think this has worked very well so far, is before we hire anyone, we give them a chance to come and hang out with us for a day or 2, paid. Because the last thing I want to do is pull you away from something. You know, we are already employed, right? We all need to make money, and I don't want to pull somebody away from their employment into something that might not work out. The last thing I want to do is like waste somebody's time or waste our time in training and developing someone into something that's not going to fit with us culturally. So we give people that opportunity now, which I think has worked really well. So everybody kind of knows what to expect going in.
I think that's a great way to do it too, because you probably get great feedback from your existing team. Oh, absolutely. And you get, you know, feedback, and you can see them in action. Exactly. So I've tried to do that a little bit with my team. Like, I will now, when I'm looking to bring on a new team member, I'll have my current team members interview that person or have a conversation with that person. And it's interesting because you get a different perspective, right? Oh yeah. Like, 100%. I think this person might be a great fit, but then my team talks to them and they come back and they're like, no. They're looking for something different than what you think they're looking for. So it's just interesting seeing that perspective.
And sometimes, like, they'll say things to you differently than they'll say to somebody that, you know, works with you or for you. Yeah. They're more open to them about their feelings than kind of like putting on a face for you.
Right. Because they want you to know, or they want to tell you what they think you want to hear. And then they talk to your team and they're like, oh no, it's totally different. Right. I just experienced that recently. And it was someone who I was like, this person's going to be a great fit. And then my team talked to them. They're like, you know, they're looking for like leads from the team, and we don't do that. Like, we generate our own business. And I was like, no, we had that conversation. They were like, no, that's not what they're looking for. So it's very interesting to hear that, and the similarities between different types of businesses too, when you talk about a team.
Right. Oh yeah, I mean, so for sure, any industry you're in, right? Yeah. Team has to be there, and culture has to be there. So
for sure. Well, and as a business owner, you determine a lot of that. So talk about some of the differences between the businesses, because they're 3 very different concepts.
Talk about, right. So the lounge and eTaco are like one, right? yes,
But
one
still
stays
different.
They're
very different.
They are different. Like, people will come in and say, "Oh yeah, it's connected. That's your bar by eTaco, right?" And I'm like, "No, not really. It's a completely separate menu. It is a shared kitchen, which helps it, like, work in a small space, but they are very different." The coffee world compared to the eTaco world is very different.
Yeah.
It's night and day. And people come in and they say, "We don't see you at eTaco anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. This
Well,
is
you
our
can't work
baby now.
20 hours
I
a day."
Can't. And they're like, "Do you miss it?" And I'm like, "No." I mean, I miss the people, but I obviously I still see them at Beam Bar. Like, I
Sure.
miss working with my team members that are there that are not with me at Beam Bar. But I do stop in and see everybody. I mean, it's literally right down the
Right.
street. It's very different. For me, eTaco, the menu is so big, and we can have we can be swamped, like, both out patio and indoor, and you feel like the chaos, right? Like, we try not to show it, but like, you feel it. Like, the operations is so different. At Beam Bar, not only is it like 4 times as big as eTaco, so our seating
The space
capacity
itself.
is massive, and we are very busy. It just flows. Like, it's
a little bit
so
more chill.
peaceful. Maybe because we're sipping on coffee all day, but it's just more chill. It's just, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
people come in for coffee. I think it's like the intention of, like, the people coming there too, right? They're coming there. They're not in a rush. They're not like, "Oh, I got to eat and get home." When people come to Beam Bar, they're coming there with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
They're coming to meet a friend, and maybe they stay for 3 hours, so they're not in a
I get it.
hurry to, like, they're not upset if their coffee is 5 minutes late
Right.
or food is 10 minutes late, or if somebody's coming to work, they're zoned in on their laptops or computers or on the call in one of our private rooms. So it's different. It's very different.
Yeah. It's a different vibe. It's a different purpose.
Exactly.
So that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So I want to touch a little bit on the show. We talked about it a little bit already, and but have you seen anything, like, from the show? Have you seen more people coming in or different people coming in? Have you heard people talking about it? We were talking about doing a daytime watch party there, and obviously we did our actual premiere watch party, which was amazing. The space at night is probably equally as incredible as it is during the day.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Even before it aired, right? Like, the day after we announced that we were going to be filming, and we filmed, people were coming and asking, "When can we watch it? When can we watch it?" We're so excited to see it.
Well, and part of that is because you guys did a great job promoting it as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, immediately right after, people were coming in and wanting to see, like, where this TV show was getting filmed, right? So that was right away, even before we aired it. And then now, yes, of course, I have people coming in all the time asking, "Oh, wait, you're the girl from," people that don't know me.
Yeah.
You're the girl from, Windy City. "Oh, you're the owner." And then, "Oh, I appreciated, everything that, that the show had to show, but then I also," it's like one conversation leads to another. It's like, now I'm finding out that, like, people don't just sit in front of the TV and watch the show, but they're like, "Who's Serah Cicek?" Like,
And they're Googling you?
They're Googling me or you or
Yeah.
whoever else was on the show, and that means so much. Like, they know my story before the Beam Bar story. Like,
Yeah.
there's there's little small things on there about, like, the time when I had to, I didn't have to, but, like, I ran into a baby on the street and I picked him up and saved him. So people are now saying, "Oh my God, you're the girl, like, that did that."
Yeah.
So I don't know, it just, yes, for sure. I mean,
That's cool, though. Like,
it
I
brought
wouldn't
a
think
lot
about
of
people
publicity.
Googling you because of the show, but I mean, you're a celebrity in your own right now. So
Celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, but it does feel good to know that
Yeah.
people, take the time to look into who is this person really?
Sure.
You know, anyone can put on a show. They don't know me. They know you from TV. But it's like once you're really looking into or start asking around, when you really find out who the person really is. So
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what the show is really about. It's about telling the stories, the behind the scenes, the stuff that people don't necessarily see. Because you can go into a coffee shop and have a great experience.
Exactly.
But you don't know what happened to create the concept, what the vision was behind it. So it's really important to tell that story. So I mentioned to you before we did this, I said there might be some big announcements, some exciting stuff. So if you think that people are coming in and talking to you now, we just found out, so the first episode is going to be on CNBC.
Oh, wow.
So, we'll
awesome.
get a national audience in front of Bean Bar, which we'll talk about that in a minute, but I know your plans are to expand. So, and then we also found out that it's now going to be on Discovery Network.
Okay.
So we'll see it airing. Yeah. So
congrats to you, me, and everybody else that's a part of the show.
Absolutely. So hopefully that brings even more people in.
Hopefully.
So talk about expansion, because I know this concept has obviously blown up. Like it's a huge success in Northbrook. You've had other places coming to you. Do you want to talk about your future plans?
Sure. I mean, we don't have anything set in stone yet, so I don't feel comfortable sharing any, details as to where, who, and what I'm talking to. But definitely have plans to expand. We want to take slow and smart steps, intentional steps. I don't want to jump into and become one of these other companies that are just opening one in every suburb.
It's got to be the right place, the right community.
And the community needs to need something like Bean Bar, right? Because that's the drive behind it. And the space, the location needs to make sense for Bean Bar, and Bean Bar needs to make sense for the neighborhood and for the people.
Sure.
So
you want it to be that same community. We talked about this on the show. It's like a community hub in Northbrook.
That's the whole point. People ask, well, are you ever going to open smaller ones? I'm not planning to.
Okay.
Maybe a little smaller, but the vision behind is to provide this comfortable space for people, and I can't see myself doing that with a small space. It just wouldn't feel the same. Like it wouldn't tell the same story.
So you need to find an old bank location.
Preferably, but we've been looking around, and there's not that many. Yeah. In areas that we'd like to be, at least. I'm sure there's closed banks everywhere, but it just needs to tell the story. And it doesn't have to be a bank. I'm happy to, go into a large space.
I was half kidding with that. Yeah. But I mean, that's part of the amazing thing. Like I used to go into that Chase Bank. Not to give Chase a plug on the podcast, but hey, if they want to sponsor. But I used to go into that bank. That used to be my bank. And years ago. And so it's
your new office.
Now it's my new office, right? So it's just interesting how the space, because you changed the space. You opened up a lot of walls. But you kept a lot of the same elements, and that's what I think makes it so unique is the private rooms, the big conference room,
the big exposed brick wall, the character. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely had to transform the space, but going into it, we knew exactly what we wanted, and it actually exceeded our expectation, space-wise, visibility-wise. So we're very happy with that being the first hub for Bean Bar.
Yeah. So expansion with Bean Bar. I know you have other stuff in your head. What else are you thinking?
Oh, God.
You're always coming up with ideas.
I'm not Kadir's.
Okay.
I'm happy with Bean Bar. I'm happy with slowly expanding and just, taking ownership of the Bean Bar project. Kadir's the one with millions of ideas. Sometimes I have to just stop him. We've got this work.
Slow down.
Let's slow down. Let's focus on Bean Bar and, focus. He wants to make some changes with the taco. E-Taco's not changing. E-Taco is E-Taco, but maybe we have some other ideas for that. Nothing set in stone for that either, but I mean, you always have to look for ways to, make things happen. So we have ideas, but nothing for like immediately.
Yeah.
No. First immediate expectation would be to see where we can, what we can do with Bean Bar.
Yeah. Well, it's a great concept. I think it makes a ton of sense to have another community hub somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, but smart. The right community. Slow, steady growth.
Right.
Yeah. I preach that to my team all the time. Slow, steady growth.
I like that.
So Serah, being a business owner, being a mom, having multiple businesses, what are some of the challenges? What advice would you have for someone else who's looking to start their own business?
Oh God, that's a tough question because everybody handles things differently, right? I have a very high sense of urgency for things, and if I have a goal, I kind of just I focus on it, and I try not to let things get in the way. Obviously, my family will always be a priority, but now that my kids are a little bit older, it's becoming a little bit easier for me to focus a little bit more on the business because they are becoming a little bit more independent as they're getting older. You have to be, I don't know, I guess you just have to be genuine in general about your feelings, about your expectations, about what you want in life, and about your goals. And you kind of just have to grind to just, to get there. You got to be critical. And talking about space, right? We keep using the word space and neighborhoods, but I think one of the most important things is no matter what you do, right? What made you choose this location for the JG group? You have to be very smart about not only your concept, but where you're going to take your concept. Because you can make any space look beautiful and pretty and, trendy, but the space needs to want what you're putting into it, if that makes sense. What you're building needs to make sense for where you're putting it. And that's I would say, definitely work with somebody that can help you do your market research, your demographics, everything else that goes along with it. You have to be very critical and really picking the location before putting the model into that location.
Well, it goes back to the old real estate adage, location. It truly is important, whether it's business, setting your roots for your home.
Exactly.
All of it. So what advice would you have for someone else who is going to be on the show? You've done this now, you've seen the benefit. What would you say to someone else?
I would, as long as you're genuine and your concept has a story, I think it just kind of flows. Be genuine, don't go on there and try to put on this show or pretend your establishment is something that it's not.
Sure.
You kind of just have to let it just roll, during the show. You just go there and just
let the story tell itself.
Let the story tell itself. And there's not much you can do. That's exactly what, I'm only saying that because that's exactly how I felt when I was on the show. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I wasn't stressed out about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've never been on a TV show before, so what was the unexpected.
I've never hosted a TV show before.
Unexpected was scary, right? Yeah. But then, you and your team, you guys were amazing at making people feel at ease and comfortable, and just it just became day in the life of Bean Bar type of shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. We
didn't pretend to be something we're not. We didn't have fake actors and actresses on the shoot. It was just this is what you get. Right. It is what it is. So
it told the story itself.
Yeah.
It almost you just had to be there and
Yep.
be a part of it.
Exactly.
So, awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything exciting going on?
I don't know anything exciting going on. No, I think we touched upon the expansion.
Yeah.
Because we are getting that question a lot from other people too. And yes, we want to, but it will take time.
Sure.
Give us a little bit time because we have to make sure that we're taking the right steps towards opening up other spots. Other than that, I don't know. We're just looking.
You want to give a plug for your upcoming podcast?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll give you a shameless plug.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But I guess we're just excited that it's been 9 months and it feels.
Is that all it's been? Is 9 months?
Yeah.
It feels like you guys have been part of the community forever.
Yeah. Well, we have been part of the community for a long time, but yeah, it just feels like. I mean, even from day one, like now that when we sit down with the team and reflect on the first day, it just felt like we were always there.
Yeah.
Yes, the first couple of weeks were very chaotic as we were kind of plugging in and trying to fine tune things, but it kind of just we hit the ground running, and that ties to what you said earlier about the team. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I mean, we would have never survived,
Sure.
the first couple of weeks. So, I do want to say, thank you to them and my team. But yeah, it's just, it's come together, and I'm excited to see what next year brings. I'm excited for next summer and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then as for the podcast, Justin will be our first guest next week, which I don't know when it will air though, maybe another week or so after. But, what are we drinking as we're talking here today? Coffee, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you.
Even though we had our mishap this morning.
I'm not going to ask you how you take your coffee because I'd like to save that for my podcast. That's going to be our opening question for our guests is coffee brings people together. And what's the better way to have a conversation than to have it over a cup of coffee, right? So what I'd like to do is just bring in people from all different points of life, right? All different age of life. And kind of talk about their story. I know we use the word story so much, but I think our stories are what makes us. And I'd like to just bring people in and just kind of hear from them on their story, how they got to be where they are, and, give advice to people that are out there that are, starting something new or just getting out of college, what advice they would give to people. So it's about bringing people together.
I think that's a really positive way to do it. We're on episode 4 now. I will tell you, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So talking to different people, the show has been great, but the podcast, I think we've had just as much fun and getting to share people's story. Yeah. So I love it.
It's scripted. It's a conversation. Yeah. It's so fun. You're right. Yeah.
I told you.
I was worried.
You were all nervous about it.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to be part of your podcast and continue our story together. And, thank you for tuning in today. This is our 4th episode of Unlocking the Windy City. We've got some exciting stuff coming up with our next episode of Windy City Unlocked. And if you enjoyed the podcast today, please hit that subscribe button, like our page, follow us on all of our other social channels. And thank you again. Serah, thank you again for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to having you on our podcast.
I'm excited for it.